Welcome to 2+2 Show. I'm Kelly.
I'm Debbie.
Cheers.
And what are you drinking today?
Well, I think our viewers might be surprised to see it's not a Pothic.
Well, holy dippity.
Oliver's Soft Red Lime. It tastes like grape juice with a little splash of lime in it.
Let me taste it.
It's not bad. I mean, it's real sweet, so you couldn't drink a whole lot of it, but it's refreshing summer wine.
Sure.
I like Oliver. How about you?
Okay, I am drinking, I think it's pronounced Giretto. It is a Pinot Grigio, of course. It is imported from Italy.
Ooh, fancy.
But I did, and look, it's got the little imported label. So it went through customs. See?
Oh, wow. Look at how fancy she
We're
is.
doing fancy today. However, I did buy this at Aldi. So we're talking $4.99 for this bottle. And it is very crisp and refreshing and delicious. So that is what I'm drinking today.
For those of you who don't know, Oliver Winery is located here in Indiana. So I'm drinking a local wine, not an import.
La-di-da.
All right, so as you can see, our little spread here, we have some things that we wanted to talk to you guys about that we are passionate about. And the first one is fellow flowers.
Yes.
Hence all our beautiful flowers here and in our hair today.
And
our shirts are also fellow flowers, United Fiercely.
mine says United Fiercely.
Mine is Fiercely United. So whichever side we're sitting on, we're either United Fiercely or Fiercely United. So Deb, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Fellow Flowers is?
Fellow Flowers is a running community for women. It's based all over. There's community members from the United States, Canada, I'm sure all over the place. It started out many years ago by two women, actually a group of women.
Yes.
That they ran together for camaraderie, for support, for love, for...
I think it was for somebody's birthday, like their 30th birthday or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they decided to run a race, and how they would find out where they all were is they all wore an orange flower in their hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would always know. And then it kind of blossomed into this wonderful, mostly online community of support and friendship, and not just support for running, but support for life. And since I've been involved with it, it's been 5 years, and I've been through a lot of life changes. And your community comes together online and talks, and then we have a lot of run get-togethers within the Fellow Flowers community. And do you want to build on that?
Yes. So how I was introduced to Fellow Flowers is I was coaching Girls on the Run at our school. And
weren't you the one that brought it to our school?
Yes, I did bring Girls on the Run to our school, and I brought a 5K to our city as well.
That's awesome. We'll talk more about that.
I am very involved in Girls on the Run. Anyways, I was in my second season coaching with a coworker, and she brought me an orange and a red flower, and they come with a card that tells the meaning behind each color flower. And so I read it, and I was like, wow, okay, so this is saying that we're taking a journey of friendship together, which I had noticed coaching with the coworker that we were becoming more than just coworkers. We were becoming friends, and our goals were becoming the same, and we were reaching them together, and it just brought us closer. And so that first 5K that I ran as a flower, there were 4 of us, and we all wore orange flowers that year. And then just other coworkers started noticing and wanting to join, and so we started getting flowers for other coworkers, and based on what they were working on in their life at that time.
Because each flower means something different.
Correct. So depending on what they were working on or going through in their life at that time, we would purchase that flower with that meaning behind it.
So, for example, I'm wearing the orange Fiercely United flower. You're wearing
the red Strength flower,
which means it takes strength to do
what you love. Yes.
So your first flower was orange?
Orange and red. I got 2 at the same time.
Okay.
But the first one I wore to run with was orange.
I received my first 2 flowers on the same day by 2 very, very good friends. So I received my turquoise flower, which it means, so when I received my flowers, I was just beginning my journey. I just turned 40, and I had a lot of family members that were very, very ill. My father was very ill with cancer. And I figured, you know, if he can go through his chemotherapy and if he could go through what his body goes through, well then darn it, Debbie, put a pair of shoes on and run a mile. You can do it. And so my very good friends knew I was at that position in my life. So on my 40th birthday, I received my turquoise flower, which is, I believe in me and my potential, and I'm going to succeed because I believe I am brave enough and I can. So Kelly gave me this one.
Yes, I did.
And I might have cried.
Yes, she did.
But because they're very meaningful. I know when I purchase a flower for somebody, I really put
Thought into it.
in money.
Absolutely.
And then my other friend, Shelly, had bought the black one for me. And that's the Rockstar one because she also knew I was getting ready to go on this journey. And Rockstar is why, yes, I am a force to be reckoned with. So which one is your favorite flower? Which one speaks the most to you?
It's funny that you say that because it depends on where I am in my life. Like when I first started with Fellow Flowers, I thought I am a purple flower. Like I have no excuses. I'm going out to run, whether it's snowing, whether it's raining, whether it's windy, I'll figure out a way to do it. Now, not so much.
Yeah.
I come up with a lot of excuses.
Yeah,
so purple's not me anymore so much.
Purple was me for a long time.
I think right now where I am in my life that I'm probably yellow. Just because this is me. I'm not going to change for anyone. I'm authentic. What you see is what you get. You know, the older I get, the more I feel that I speak my mind and not hold back.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I have two. The bright pink one is an I am worthy because of going through a lot. It takes sometimes a little card to tell you that, you know what, you are worthy of it. You are strong and this is for you. Running is for me and not for you. It's not for anybody else. It's for me. And, you know, sometimes you get down on yourself and you think, you know, I can't run fast enough or whatever, but it's for me. But the other one is white, which is Dreamer, which is, if you can believe it, dream it. It also was a flower that I wore a lot and a lot of changes in my life when I was going through my divorce. Basically, dreaming is going in blindly and believing you're going to come out great on the other end. So looking here on our table, you can see we have our flowers.
Yes. So another thing that Fellow Flowers taught us is to declare a goal every year. It could be big, it could be small. It doesn't even have to do with running. I remember my first Declare It Day, I had never ran more than 3.1 miles. And so I declared to run a 10K, which is 6.2. And I crushed it. I crushed it. So they could give you little shirts that Declare It Day. Do you remember your first Declare It?
I believe my first Declare It was to run a 5K.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and that year I ran like 12 5Ks.
Awesome.
So I kind of busted through.
Love it.
And then I had, which kind of like will kind of move us into, when did you declare to run your first half marathon?
I never really used the Declare It to run a half marathon. It was the same year I ran the 10K that I ran my first half marathon. And it was with Fellow Flowers. And it was in Chicago. And so it was an all women's half marathon through the streets of Chicago. This was the tank that we wore. See, it says Fiercely United. And then on the back was kind of a motto that we carried with us in all of our races as us women went.
Oh.
And it's, I promised to surround myself with amazing souls and love them fiercely.
Do you know I have that magnet on my refrigerator still?
And there was a cup that we drank out of that had that on there. And
ironically, your first half marathon was my first 5K.
No kidding.
Yes.
I didn't know that was your
Well,
first
no,
5K.
it was my second 5K. My first 5K was a color run.
Oh, I did that with you too.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, it was fun.
But that was a great race.
Yes, that was my first half marathon.
My first fight. So after my very, very dear friends, 3 of them ran the half marathon, 2 of us ran the 5K, and I was so jealous. I want to do that. I want to be that. I want to work that way, and I did. I worked very, very hard. And my first half marathon was in Madison. It was the Her Half Marathon. So it was another women's-based marathon.
Yes.
It's less intimidating to run with all women. Although, man, those women run fast.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Holy cow. But you know what? So this was in Madison, Wisconsin in 2015. And we took a girls' weekend there. And my goal was to run the half marathon in less than 3 hours. And I did it.
Yes, you did.
By the skin of my teeth. But I did it, and it was fabulous. It was fabulous.
I believe that every woman that went on that trip with us had a goal for that race, and I believe they all crushed them.
Yeah.
Because you weren't the only one who was running your first. There was another girl who finished hers.
Yes.
And I think her goal was just to finish.
Well,
and she did.
Ironically, she's the one who, during your first half marathon, it was both of our first 5K. And then this half marathon, it was both of our first half marathon.
Yes, and it was a lot of fun. It was a whole weekend of events, and there was yoga and shakeout runs and drinks, lots of cocktails. It was fun.
So we say first half marathon because I've run 2.
Oh, yes.
And I'll just talk about mine for 1 second. Just let me do it for a minute because I'm pretty proud of myself. So I ran a rock and roll half marathon in New Orleans.
Yes.
With Kelly and another very, very good friend of ours, which was great. And I'm just so proud of myself that, now talking and looking back, like, yeah, Debbie, got to get back into this because it was very, very, very awesome experience to cross that finish line. However, Kelly has run.
I don't even know. I have a goal, like on a bucket list goal, to run a half marathon in every state by the time I'm 60 years old. So that right now is 2 states per year. Okay. So this year I ran Georgia and I'm running Pennsylvania in October. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to be like my 14th or 15th. I don't even know.
14 or 15 half marathons. That's 13.1 miles. Or 13.14.
Time.
So,
yes.
Talking about the New Orleans Marathon. So if you're a runner, you're thinking about getting into running. Some people hate us talking about running, but I don't care. The New Orleans half marathon and many half marathons you've run, they're called rock and roll marathons. But the very special thing about these marathons that we run and you got me into was
St. Jude.
St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Being a St. Jude hero, raising money for St. Jude. And St. Jude, they treat their runners phenomenally. Like, I can't speak highly enough about what St. Jude does for kids with cancer. It's based out of Memphis, or it's in Tennessee somewhere, the hospital. And families come with children who have cancer, and they don't have to pay a dime for their children to get treated.
No.
Not a dime. And so when you run for a charity like St. Jude, they are so grateful that you're collecting money for them that they treat you like royalty. Like, we got these singlets to train in. We got hats. I got a running Drywick shirt. We got a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, a fanny pack.
Yes. And then at the race, if they see you with the hero shirt, they're cheering you on. They've got cowbells. They have dinners for you the night before. They have lunch for you after the race. Mm-hmm. I mean, they treat their charity runners like royalty. They are amazing.
We're not saying this is like you just raise whatever you turn in. In order to be a St. Jude runner, you have to raise at the very least $500.
Yes. And I was shocked at how much people donate.
Especially because we have the same circle of people, pretty much. Like, our inner core is pretty much the same. And people were very generous.
They're so generous when it comes to St. Jude.
Yeah, because, these children, God bless them and their families. And we have a family from the school that we taught in whose child was being treated at the time. And
I just had her brother in my class this past year.
Yes, so it was really nice to be able to honor them. So if you are thinking about becoming a runner, if you're thinking about what can I do to help others, whatever, this is being a St. Jude runner. It helps your health, it helps you mentally, physically, but it also goes to the children too.
Right. So, and you don't have to run a half marathon to be a St. Jude runner. Mm-hmm. You could do the 5K, and you don't even have to run, really. You can
walk it.
Yeah. And it's amazing the things that they do for these kids.
The running community I found, especially in the city where we live in, with Hometown Heroes or Hometown Happenings.
Yes.
Is a lot of the running community is very generous, and
Yes.
many of the races that the $25 that you pay to run the race, yeah, you get a fun medal, which is fun to collect, I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of them, especially local runs, are charity based,
Yes.
and so that is phenomenal. So yeah, the running community is great, and I'm just so appreciative to be part of it. And now this is probably the boost I needed to get back into.
I hope so, because I've
Back
also
into-
kind of
yeah.
been slacking, and I forget, when you stop, you forget the joy that it brings you and how you
Mm-hmm.
feel when you are actually running or training for a race. But before we run out of time, I wanted to let Debbie talk about her virtual race medals. For those of you who have crazy schedules and can't get to these fun races that we go to, there are virtual races. Talk about that, Deb. What's a
I
virtual race?
love virtual races. So right here are a few of my Fellow Flowers based virtual races. A virtual race is a race that you sign up for, and most of them are also charity based. And you are given a time window, and you run the race on your own accord, and then you on your own time. Many of them are you have to run a 5K, but many of them are you run what you want, or you can walk it. It's pretty much get out there and move, and they definitely you put in your time. A lot of it is basically what is that, the honor system?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do an honor system, but it is definitely, for me, I like the bling. The bling moves me and inspires me. We had a couple years ago a big spread of time where we had no school because of snow. So I bought my girls, remember that race I did?
Yes.
I bought us all these virtual race.
Frozen.
It was
wasn't
Frozen.
Yes.
Yeah. It was. I don't know what their characters are because my kids don't.
Anna and Elsa.
Yeah. So whatever the blue one is. So I bought us these Frozen medals for a virtual 5K. So one day we didn't have school, and I was like, okay, everybody, we're going to do our Frozen 5K.
Get on your treadmill.
Get on your treadmill, let's go. So I got really into the habit of, for me, the inspiration to do it was I wanted to bling, I want to hang my medals up, I want that stuff. So I would order them, but I'm very good about, I'm not going to open it until I run it, because then that's not fair.
Look at you.
So they stay in their package, and these Fellow Flower virtual runs are really great. So fellowflowers.com, you can still go on and do them. Right now, the turquoise one is live. I just can't buy it yet because I'm paying for everything else right now. But then you also get these really pretty necklaces. And so this one says Dreamer on it when I did the white Dreamer race. And I have one that says Joy from when I did the yellow Joy race. And I change them up when I need to, and I need a little inspiration. I put the little medal on my little charm on my little races. But virtual races are a great way to get started. And some people are very shy about running races because they might be slow or they might run goofy. I mean, I look like
yeah, I don't
run.
think that should be the least of your worries is how you run or how fast you are. Like, just get out there and move.
Yeah,
that's how you start.
I ran it like, gosh, most of my medals are virtual medals.
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
My favorite virtual?
Your favorite race?
Oh man. You know, I gotta say, I really did like Nashville because there was very little of the course that didn't have people cheering for me. Out of 13.1 miles, I would say there were probably 3 miles that were on our own where there were people. You go through the neighborhoods and people are just out there grilling out and having some beers and cheering for you. It was really, really inspiring, awesome. Just, it was so, there's like not enough words to describe it. And I wore a tank top that said running with my best friend in honor of my dad. And it said in honor of my dad on the back. And I had so many people when I would stop to walk and feel like it was getting too tough, that would say, what's your dad's name? And I'd be like, David. And they'd be like, come on, you're doing it for David. And I was like, this race is amazing. I would recommend that to anyone.
It's a good race.
Yeah.
I think mine was when we did the Soldier Field quarter marathon.
Oh, that was a good one too. We were in
Soldier
such good
Field
shape
Bears.
then.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my God, we were so skinny. That's another good reason I need to start running again.
Right.
But that was a great one because we met some fellow flowers on
Yes.
right before the course started.
If you do start running, look for people with flowers and ask them, why'd you pick that color today? And you might make a new friend.
Oh, you definitely make a new friend.
Yeah.
We made friends in the airport.
Yes.
That had flowers on.
Yes.
So that was a great one too because it was around Soldier Field, in and back.
Soldier Field.
And it was when I decided I didn't train for it. I just decided on the spur of the moment, let's do it. And I did not believe in myself, but you did. And I just remember like going through it, and everybody in that course was a lot of fun. And then at the end of it, my favorite race picture is when I'm coming to the line and you snapped and my legs are in the air and I look like I'm jumping. But thank you for listening to us talk about racing. Get moving. My favorite phrase from Fellow Flowers is forward is the pace. So if you're walking, if you're running, you got friends in the community, no matter where you are. Any last words?
Nope. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Cheers.